Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of Trading Fibs to bring you the daily trend for week 25, June 20th, 2016. As always, please seek financial advice when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. To support your knowledge in the market, see what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, let's jump right into today's price action, as it was almost looking like things were headed upside until market decided to pull back and offer one of the best of the day trends to wrap up a total of, didn't even put it there yet. It was 390 ticks, so I got to update there. 390 ticks. A lot of those accumulated on the NQ2 contracts downside. Yeah, price action there was in the afternoon session as price action broke downside on all three indices. All four charts in the red to give us a whopping ticks all the way down to the market close. Little bit of a piece of pie as market actually ended up trending a little bit more to the downside as we start off week 25. Econ data for today, not much on the table, as really as we move into the week, we'll be taking a look at some of the econ data towards the end here, but very light session without much to report on economic wise. Let's take a look at the AD line. AD line, as we saw, price action this morning lifting to the upside with the markets. It was the NQ that was really behind. It was the YM right out of the gate that really lifted this morning, followed by the ES and then the NQ crude, and for the majority of the other markets just pretty much chopped sideways. As we can see, finally index AD line just plateaued out, flattened out, and you would have thought that would have been the end of the session, but once price action actually was able to get underneath that 10-period moving average with a little bit of sideways time, and then ended it up AD line advancers, decliners in control, letting the market come down in the afternoon session. Let's take a look at the 5-minute charts across the board. Looking at the crude again. Crude pretty much a sideways action, remaining within the 25-minute open range here today. Not much move, but again, overnight session lifted that crude up as we are migrating back to that 50. Majority of markets, again, ES and the YM, again, the biggest of the movers of the AM session, but again, all coming down towards the mid-session and pretty much chopped to the lunch hour as we just shuffled in the 25-minute open ranges, highlighted by the green here. ES holding on to today's open, and there it was, the move of the day. Price action letting itself go, and here we could see the Globex once price action reopened here, back upside from today's low, back up to almost today's opens. So 5-minute charts showing a little bit of resurgence there at the end. Fib projection levels, how'd we do? Yeah, baby, all the way almost up on the NQ, but all the way down on the NQ. Downside, target low downside in the YM, and target both sides on ES and YM today for the fib projection. So great move. All right, let's take a look at the daily trend charts again. We mentioned the crude here today. Crude not getting much price action during the U.S. Open, but the majority of the overnight moves starting with Sunday Open. A price action to the upside. T3 moving averages holding above the 50 EMA. Nice move on the 50. There it is. All market momentum on the 51.44 here, represented by the two moving averages. And again, you can see a lot of sideways actions. The 50 really didn't move beyond the 144, except here around the oil closed, the crude closed, but nothing really setting itself up for an optimal move. And so crude, hands off on the crude today. Taking a look at the YM price action, again getting that little lift here back at the end and through the early Globex session as markets here to open in about 45 minutes, but there it was, YM to the upside, 3 charts in the green, 50 then above the 144 here. Only took a couple of bars there to get back upside. Nice move to the upside of the YM leading index. Again, the setup to the downside was not clear until pretty much late afternoon here. A lot of chop sideways as we saw on the 5-minute chart, but there it was on all three indices to the downside. Sell signal on all 4 charts here, together with the 50 underneath the 144 to the downside. Once price action lifted back in the green, there it was. All right, we had closed out, so you just simply exited the trade at the end. NQ, same picture. Again, NQ not getting much of a move there at the session at the beginning. finally did catch up here post 30 minutes. 4 charts in the green on the NQ for the first trade of the session. That was about a 38 tick move, and really just sitting the rest out until a sell signal came on. Stop at the swing size. All you got was, that's right, lower highs on the way down. So one sell signal, re-entry after another, 50 below 144. So great move for 226 ticks on the NQ to the downside. 2 contracts down right to the fib line. Taking a look at the ES. ES, again, similar picture here as price action ran up. Not the cleanest of setups. 2 charts in the green, 2 charts in the red. A little bit of a lift here on the ES around post 30 minutes. Didn't last long. Stopped out to the downside. So 6 ticks in the AM session until price action in the afternoon. There it was. That was the move to the downside. All 4 charts in the red, as we could see price action holding underneath the 51.44. One thing we've been looking at is multiple time frames in the trading room. There's that nice move as we can see here on the Globex. But there it is, using multiple time frames. Again, when you use multiple time frames here, we see on the ES, again, nothing changed in our strategy. We see a sell signal above the T350 and the 50 period moving averages. Once we get the T3 set up, we have 3 charts in the red. Again, a little bit of a pullback, but the optimal entry here around 3 o'clock is sell signal came downside. We got crossover on the 2 moving averages on a 6-3 flex Renko, and then we have a crossover on at least one of the moving averages here on the 10-7, which puts you in for a nice trade to the bottom. Again, you don't have to worry about all this chop here. Again, if you had your stop at the swing size, you would have been all right, but this is a really nice entry. Sell signal to the downside. You have 3 charts in the red over here. You're underneath the T350 and the 50 EMA. You already have a crossover here. 2 of the moving averages on the ES, and then on the 10-7, the highest time frame, you already have a crossover on the 50 EMA to keep you in the trend, HA bars all the way down. So whether you're watching the multiple time frames on the NQ or the ES, really nice pattern here as price action did the same thing we mentioned here on the daily trend here. Price action crossing over at least one of the moving averages, both moving averages. The setup over here on the left on the smallest time frame, the 10-7 flex Renko, keeps you in the trend. Once you're in it, guys, it doesn't matter. It's all about the HA bars and keeping you and managing you in the trend. So really wonderful afternoon setup on all 3 indices. Let's get back over to the gold. Let's see if there was anything to look at on the gold today. Looking at the GC, price action on the GC again. Kind of holding steady, but 3 charts in the green here, lifting up 50 above 144 for the majority of the session. So there's our technical momentum to the upside. 3 charts in the green on the gold. A little bit of another lift here, but really chopped out. Another lift here towards the afternoon session, and one last lift here in the late afternoon. And wrapping up with the 6E, the euro, as we lead into this week. Euro again coming down slightly. Not anything great. Overnight session was pretty much small chops to the downside, and there it was, T3 moving averages underneath the 50 with 4 charts in the red for a little bit of a scalp move. Again, nothing of significance to write home about on the 6E. Taking a look at the daily gaps today. Daily gaps here, we left one open upside on the YM and the ES, so watch those as price action eventually will come back and close those, but we got both open gaps above and below. We could see upside 17,945 as well as the ones all the way downside. Here the NQ running up 85.75 is our next level of concern. 50.23 as the price action on the crude lifts up today and leaves once again another open gap. So we'll go ahead and draw those lines in for tomorrow. Taking a look at the volume profile, you're wondering why we stop where we stop sometimes. Well, there it is on the YM. Price action holding here at 17,805, 600-day VPOC, as well as the ES holding at the highs 2093.50. That was the tops of the day around, and price action never really returning there. We have NQ to the downside 42.90 and CL crude down at 48.30. So what is the probability that we're going to run in either direction? Hey, guys, I can't tell you that. All I can tell you, you got to be ready every day for both directions when it comes intraday. But taking a look at the daily big pick, crude right now back on an upswing. That's right, just barely holding on there, 50 above the 144. It gives me an upwards trend, even an in a pullback that we've seen for the last couple days, or we should say all of last week. Not enough to pull that 50 underneath the 144, so we remain in an uptrend. T3 moving averages, so back on the crude to the upside. Again, leaving an open gap, a little bit of a concern, but there we go to the upside as we held above the 50 and the 200 period moving average. Let's take a look at the three last indices here across the board: NQ, ES, and YM. NQ again having a struggle to break above that 50 period moving average on a daily average volume just below today. A little bit above on the YM and the ES. Again, still holding upside, but with an open gap here above, hanging really here at the 50 period moving average. Again, downtrend on all three as long as that 50 is below the 144. You can see the NQ, a little bit of resistance here at the 50, but ES getting a little bit of a lift here as she finds support right above the 144. So that's the start of a significance of price action, maybe finding that support. We'll want to look for the NQ to hold back above the 50 and above the 144 to get ourselves back in an uptrend. Again, same picture here on the YM. You always got to be ready both directions every day for intraday pick. But again, if you're looking for anything long term on an ETF, you always wait for the pullback on a shorter time frame. As we know, the bigger time frames are currently still in an uptrend, but just in a pullback. All right, taking a look for economic data this week, guys. Heads up, really great day. 390 ticks there today on the three indices. 390 ticks over across the board. Can't say we're going to hold on to that tomorrow, as or I should say hold on to it. We'll hold on to it, but making sure your setups are as clean as possible. Watch out, Janet Yellen up on Tuesday and Wednesday, looking for the Brexit vote on Thursday again. Possibly whichever way the market reacts, there'll be the announcement of the vote. Market will have a quick reaction, but this is a long-term process. Parliament needs to approve it if it does go through. Also, for the long-term picture, would take a couple of years, so nothing's going to change right away. We're all volume in the new contract here as we roll into September. Look for the week to finish out. Also watch for EIA on Wednesday. So big week overall for big news items as we roll into June and the beginning of summer for tomorrow. Hey guys, make sure you check out the futures ETF and market cap leaders posted this weekend. Took a little bit of a break from that and back in the swing of things, making sure you capture anything from market cap leaders to industrials, FX pairs, a little bit of a summary and where I think things are headed for the week. Again, it's just a thought, my 3 cents in the market. Go ahead and click on the weekly supplemental, which will open up a wonderful 97-page document that has a lot of these long-term charts for you guys looking to hold on to long-term interests. All right, that concludes an insight into the daily trend. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My trading mantra: one simple strategy, any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter at TradingFibs. And as always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only trade what's in front of me and on my charts. And as always, leave your bias at the door when trading. Have yourselves a Blue Zone Monday. Good day, good night, and good trading.